Hello, this is Connie Bennett. I would like to welcome you back to the Sweeter Holiday Summit. This is a program, I should say many programs. We have something like 40 experts whose goal is to help you to thrive, not just survive this holiday season. Specifically, the mission of the summit is to encourage and empower you to create your happiest, healthiest, most abundant holiday season ever. So that is what our goal is. And every expert is told that that's what they need to do. So we are in week 2 of our program. We began with Fly Lady Marla Silly yesterday, and now we have the amazing Steve G. Jones. One person said about Steve, this was the writer of Superman the movie, he said, if you want to make a positive change in your life, Steve G. Jones can make the difference. He did with me. Steve, that's like quite a testimonial there.
Well, absolutely. I guess testimonials come when values added, and that was from Tom Mankiewicz, who stopped smoking after 45 years. So he
wow.
Was happy. Yeah. So added some value to his life, and he was thankful.
You know, so for those of the people who do not know about you, though a lot of people do, I'm going to give a brief bio. So Steve G. Jones is a board-certified clinical hypnotherapist. He's been practicing hypnotherapy since the 1980s. He is the author of 22 books on hypnotherapy. I'm exhausted. I'm on my second book. Steve is a member of the National Guild of Hypnotists, the American Board of Hypnotherapy, president of the American Alliance of Hypnotists. He's on the board of the Los Angeles chapter of the American Lung Association, and he's director of the California State Register's Steve G. Jones School of Hypnotherapy. As I mentioned to you when we last spoke, I'm one of your students.
Absolutely, and it's good to have you on board.
And I will soon be certified. Steve has helped people in just about every condition, ailment, problem, if you want to call it that. I like to shy away from the word problem. He has helped people with weight loss, anxiety, smoking cessation, as he mentioned for Tom Mankiewicz, test-taking, phobias like fear of flying, nail biting, road rage, anger management, IBS, general wellness, pre-surgical and pre-dental pain control, natural childbirth, and many, many others, including, of course, one of my favorites, which is to help people who have a sugar addiction. For those of you who do not know who I am, I'm author of the book Sugar Shock, and I'm a life coach and a health expert, and one of the things I specialize is in helping people to release their sugar addiction. And what's interesting, at least for me, I have become totally enamored of hypnotherapy. I'm seeing it as such a valuable way for people to make lasting changes. And that's why I signed up for your program, Steve.
Excellent.
Because I felt that, coaching wasn't enough. So I promised people that in this program you were going to help people deal with a few issues. So one is to attract an abundance mindset. The other is to be calm through the holidays. Another is to quit doing self-sabotage. And the other thing is to be able to be at holiday parties and not feel deprived and just get some kind of, oomph or whatever from you to be able to pass up on sweets. I know this is a tall order, but I think you're up to it. So for people who don't know what hypnotherapy is, what is it exactly?
Well, hypnotherapy is just a relaxed state of mind in which you are more suggestible. And when you're more suggestible, you are more likely to change. So if we can cause you to relax a little bit, we can put some positive thoughts in your mind, which will positively affect the rest of your life.
Okay. So aren't we sort of in a hypnotic state much of the day?
Yes, we go in and out of hypnosis all day long, and hypnosis is defined as anything alpha or lower. And to be an alpha, you can be daydreaming. We go into alpha when we're vacuuming, when we're showering, we're just waking up, when we're just going to sleep, when we space out at work, or any other time in the day when we're really not completely engaged. And sometimes when we think we're engaged, like when we drive somewhere and we forget the drive. And I'm not talking about being under the influence of anything. I'm just talking about driving somewhere and forgetting the drive. A lot of people have that experience. Those are all of the things that I just mentioned are examples of being in hypnosis. So we spend a lot of our day in the alpha state, which is a very light state of hypnosis.
Interesting. Okay. And anybody can do this, correct?
Absolutely. Our brains are wired already to go into hypnosis automatically several times throughout the day. It's just a matter of taking charge of it and doing it when you want to do it, and then having positive thoughts put in your mind while you're there.
Okay. So let's you clearly are helping a lot when looking at your long list of ways that you've helped people. You've done a lot in the way of helping people with breaking habits.
Yes.
And pain, and also, becoming more healthy. But specifically in habits, what do you think is the biggest mistake that most people make when trying to change a habit?
The biggest mistake that most people make when trying to change a habit, in my opinion, is failing to believe in their ability to do it and thinking that this is just the way they are, and failing to separate themselves from the habit, thinking that they are one with the habit, just who they are, it's part of their personality, and that it will never change. That's the biggest mistake.
I love your idea of that people tend to focus so much on failing to separate from the habit and using that habit to identify themselves. So they will say, I am a sugar addict. I can say that now. I'm not worried that it's going to have any hypnotic or any effect because it's been years. But, yeah, so they identify with the habit. That's part of who they are. Exactly.
And it's just like with training children to do something and letting them know they did something quote-unquote wrong. You don't want to tell them that they are bad. You want to tell them that the behavior is bad, or better yet, the behavior is ineffective in producing the results they want. And, of course, saying it in a way a child understands, but not saying that the child is bad or the child is wrong, separating them from it. And if you separate yourself from something, then you realize it's something you can give up. If it's something outside of yourself, you can let go of it, whereas if you are bad or if you are wrong or you are an addict, then that's you, and how are you going to separate yourself from yourself?
Interesting. I was just somewhere, I totally blanking when it was. So there are times, I imagine this happens with you. You're out and about and you hear people say something, and it's like, they may not know who you are. I mean, granted, you're world-renowned, but still, they may not know who you are. So I was somewhere, and I heard this girl saying, "Oh, I was bad." And she comes back with, whatever, I think it was like a heavy-duty coffee drink. Actually, I think it was I just came back from the I Can Do It conference in Florida, sponsored by Hay House, who is the publisher of my next book, Beyond Sugar Shock. And there were all these really, really wonderful people there. So it was sort of, it was interesting because most of the people there are very, proactive and in changing. And here's this girl saying, "I was bad." And it was the same thing. She identified being bad with eating bad food, quote-unquote bad foods.
Right. That happens all the time. We can all slip into it no matter who we are from time to time. I catch myself saying, "Oh, I'm so stupid." I say something that I think I shouldn't have said, and instead of saying, that was stupid, or even that's too harsh, just to say that was something I shouldn't have said, what I meant to say was this, my internal dialogue reverts back to the way I used to talk to myself as a child. And so the trick is not to beat yourself up when this happens, not to say, oh, I said I'm bad, and that makes me bad, because that just snowballs it, makes it worse. The trick is to realize that we're human. We all mess things up every now and then. That's what humans do, and that's okay. That's part of being human. That's part of our experience. But then we should catch ourselves and say, okay, it's all right. I made a mistake, or I didn't say it the way I wanted to, or what have you, and I'm going to work on that. I'm going to get better at that, and I'm going to, in the future, separate the behavior from myself so that down the line it will completely leave me and leave my being and leave my life. Okay.
So if in the future, you're absolutely right. I mean, I can think of something that happened to me the other day, and I was like, well, how do you counter that? So what you do then is you say, okay, I'm human, I made a mistake, it's going to get better, and then to separate from that behavior.
Right, and then rephrase it right away instead of saying, if you catch yourself saying, oh, I'm stupid, or even thinking that, which is just as powerful, then say, oh, I'm human, okay, people say stuff like that, and I'm a human, that's okay. And then to rephrase it the way you should have said it, that behavior was ineffective, which is probably what you meant to say, something along those lines. Sounds a little clinical, but once you get the hang of it, it really makes it easier to change.
Okay, so let's say this program is designed to help people get through the holidays. So let's say somebody's at a holiday party, and let's say they had something, a little too much of whatever it was, whether it's alcohol or sweets. I'm not going to try to plant that idea in people's head, but people are human, and we're going to have lots of these things kind of thrust on us. So what we would do then is, rather than say I'm bad, say, okay, I'm human. That behavior was ineffective, and now I can separate it from me. Is that what we would do?
Right, exactly. And if you're talking about a behavior, rather than saying, oh, I'm an overeater, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm an overeater, I did it again, I always overeat. Rather than saying that, catch yourself, if you do say that, we're talking about, you catch yourself after you've already said that or thought that. You realize, okay, I'm human, I beat myself up, but that's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up for beating myself up. So you let that go, you rephrase it, and you say, my behavior was ineffective for my plan for weight loss or whatever the plan is.
Okay.
And then you rephrase it and in that way, and then you just move forward. And by taking that time to acknowledge you're human, not beat yourself up, but yet take the time to rephrase it, you make it easier for the next time when that happens, that you catch yourself saying that. Along those lines, I want to point out that guilt-free play is very important, I feel, when it comes to weight loss. So if you think you're going to, go to Las Vegas and drink a lot, or you think the holidays are coming, you're going to eat a lot, I encourage people to give themselves some latitude, realizing that, hey, maybe you'll be in a situation where there's peer pressure. And if you want to do that, then that can be okay as long as it's worked into a greater plan, where you just allowed yourself to indulge, and then you go right back to where you were if you feel that that's just the way it's going to be, rather than getting all this anxiety about, I have to change myself. If I do overeat, I'm terrible, and I'm evil, and I'm wrong. You can build it into a plan. Sometimes that works for people.
I love that, and I love your phrase, a guilt-free play. Build it into a plan. Yeah. Actually, even though I'm a person who most people know as, I can help you to break free of your sugar addiction, your addiction to refined carbs, I do, however, I agree with you. First off, I don't think the holiday season is the time to do it. So that's, I love your idea that, you plan, if you can do it. Now, some people find that they can't do it, but if you can do it, to, plan to cheat.
Absolutely.
If you want to call it.
And doctors will tell you that every now and then, if you have a pizza or something that's, a bad, quote-unquote, bad food, it kind of reminds your body that it's not on a desert island deprived of food, because when your body gets in that mode, it starts hoarding things, and then you gain weight despite your weight loss efforts. So every now and then having some of that guilt-free play is actually medically shown to be beneficial.
Yeah. Well, having said that, I might as well freely admit, no, I did not have sweets yesterday, but I did, quote-unquote, cheat. Some people are going to go, oh, you had that? Who cares? So I had rice cakes.
rice cakes?
Brown rice cakes. I don't know. They are like whatever it is. And it's funny because I came to the conclusion that, I eat, because it's processed very quickly in your body. Some people think it tastes like cardboard. They tease me, how can you like rice cakes? How can that be like your treat? But it is.
Wow.
Especially with with some butter and some
okay, with cream and cream cheese.
Well, and some healthy, and some protein at the same time. But the point is, I did, quote unquote, cheat. Now, granted, my cheat might be different. And I did exactly what you're talking about, where I tried to do this guilt-free play.
Okay. Yeah, I would in the future, of course, plan that out and give yourself some latitude. And when you cheat, you can cheat a lot better than that. You can have a pizza or something. My goodness. sounds like prison food or something. Have some fun with the cheating, for goodness sakes.
Whatever. I like it. So, what would you? Is there something maybe that you could put us through? Maybe some kind of a 5-minute thing where somebody's at a holiday party and so they're able to either pass on sweets or refined carbs, or at least not overdo it.
Absolutely. And I'll work in this concept of guilt-free play, that if you want that, then you plan it ahead of time rather than setting yourself up for failure, which so many people do. I remember having my office in Beverly Hills, and people were going to fly to Vegas, and they said, I want to quit smoking this week, but next week I'm going to Vegas. And I thought, what a crazy plan. Why not just, get that out of the way instead of just quitting smoking and then going to Vegas, where apparently all their friends would be smoking and drinking. Just work that into your plan. Just let's quit after that. Let's get that out of the way. When it comes to something like overeating, if you feel the holidays are coming up and you're going to do that, work that into your plan. So I'll give the people the option as we do this session of either having a guilt-free play plan or being okay with just abstaining altogether. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay. So are you ready for our session?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if we're going to do a hypnosis session, first of all, anyone listening to this who's operating a motor vehicle, I encourage you to stop listening now and listen again when you're not operating a motor vehicle. No one who's operating one should be listening to this, because hypnosis is very relaxing, and I want people to be able to just relax, not have to do anything. So if you are still listening to this, I encourage you to let people around you know that you're going to be busy for the next few minutes, 5 or 10 minutes or so, and not to bother you. And I want you to find a comfortable place where you can lie down. A bed is fine, a comfortable chair, just something you won't fall out of if you get really relaxed. You can lie down on the floor. Many times when I do seminars, I invite people to lie down on the floor and just find yourself relaxed. If you need to use the restroom, go ahead and do so. And I'll keep talking for a little while to give you an opportunity to do that, because I want you to be as relaxed as possible. And I also want you to control the temperature. If you need a blanket, go ahead and get a blanket. So these are the preparatory procedures that you should go through every time you're about to go into hypnosis, so that you can just have that guilt-free time where you're realizing no one's going to bother you and you don't have to worry about going to the restroom or being too hot or too cold. Everything's taken care of. So a few minutes of preparation can go a long way. And we're going to use a beach induction, give you a little bit of education here as we set this up. I use a beach induction, which is going to allow you to relax, have you imagine walking on a beach. Most people like the beach. If you don't, then you can create another scenario in your mind as I'm talking, such as walking in the woods. And then we'll do a deepening. So I'll have you imagine yourself walking on the beach. That'll get you into the hypnotic realm and get you relaxed. It's called the induction. The deepening will be you watching the sunset, watching the sun go down as I count, designed to enhance the hypnotic experience. And then the script. And the script we'll be working on today will be one for you to prepare for the holidays, to have the two choices of either guilt-free play or abstinence when it comes to foods that you know are not very effective for you. Mm-hmm. Also helping you being calm during the holidays and stopping self-sabotage in general and things along those lines. And then I will do amnesia. Amnesia is designed to get you to not necessarily forget everything that I say, but to kind of scramble the memory a little bit so you're not over-analyzing everything I say. So I'll put that in there. Realize that even when I do that, you may still have a recollection of the session. That's possible. But it's designed to not have you over-analyze it. We call that amnesia. And don't worry, I'm only going to apply it to the session, not to anything else. So that's a little technique that we use as hypnotherapists. And then I'm going to bring you back out of the session. So if you come out and you don't remember anything I said, that's fine. If you remember everything I said, that's fine too. You are still in hypnosis. Because remember, we can be in hypnosis even when we drive a car. And we don't always forget the experience of driving a car. Many times we remember the entire drive. But our brain still does power down to alpha, still powers down to a hypnotic state. So my point is, even if you remember the entire session, don't worry, you're still in hypnosis. All right, so anyone who had to use the restroom is probably back by now. Connie, are you ready?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let's go ahead and start this. So I want everyone to just go ahead and close your eyes. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose. Inhaling very deeply and hold it. Open your mouth slightly and exhale very slowly. And when you're ready, take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. Open your mouth slightly and exhale very slowly. And when you're ready, one more deep breath in through your nose. Filling your lungs, stretching them out, and hold it. Open your mouth slightly and exhale very slowly. And as you do, just let yourself relax more deeply and continue breathing easily, effortlessly, and comfortably, realizing that in just a few moments you're going to be very, very relaxed. And in order to help you relax, I would like you to imagine yourself on a beautiful island, and you're on the beach on this island. This is your island. You are alone and safe, relaxed, and you can create it in your mind to look any way you want. Perhaps a few wispy clouds in the sky, a few birds. You can hear the birds if you put them there. You can hear the waves rolling in and out. And you're barefoot, so you can feel the soft sand on the soles of your feet as you walk slowly down toward the water's edge. And as you do this, you smell that unmistakable salty sea air. It's so relaxing. Helps you relax even more deeply now. So very, very relaxed. You can feel the breeze on your body, a gentle breeze, and between the temperature of your skin from the sun and the adjusted temperature from the breeze, you feel just right. You are the perfect temperature right now. You feel so relaxed because of that. It's just the right balance, just what you need. You see the waves rolling in and out, and I want you to walk down to close to the water's edge now and find a place where it's dry and comfortable. I want you to sit down. You're about to watch a beautiful sunset. And as I count backwards now, from 5 to 1, the sun is going to slowly set on the horizon, so that by the time I reach the number 1, the sun will have completely set and you will be completely relaxed. All right, now 5. The sun is beginning to set lower and lower. 4, down, down goes the sun as you relax more and more. 3, 2, down, down as you relax more and more, because the lower the sun goes, the more you relax. At the count of the next number, the sun will have completely set and you will be completely relaxed. All right now, 1. The sun has set completely and you are completely relaxed. Because you are relaxed and at ease, you realize that you can accomplish anything. And you see yourself now at a party during the holidays. And you have brought something special with you to that party. You have brought with you the knowledge of exactly what you are going to do at that party. You have made one of 2 choices already. You have either decided that you're going to have guilt-free play, which means that you're going to eat what you want at that party and release yourself from any guilt. Or you have decided that you are going to abstain from foods that are ineffective for you. Either way, you are comfortable with your decision. And as you walk through the party, you carry out your decision. It is easy for you to carry out your decision either way, whether it's guilt-free play and indulging in food, or abstaining from foods that are ineffective for you. You realize that your plan is part of a greater plan, which allows you to maintain the low weight that you want to maintain, allows you to feel good about yourself, your overall plan in your life, allows you to be true to your plan. And you realize that you have let go of self-sabotage. That's in the past. Now you live with purpose, with meaning. You live with a plan that guides you and allows you to feel good about yourself all the time, no matter what you are doing. And you have a tremendous sense of calmness through the holiday season, a tremendous sense of being relaxed and calm and at ease. You realize just how powerful you are. You realize that whether you have chosen guilt-free play or abstinence, you are living with your plan. Your plan is being carried out, and you feel good about that, and you should. This allows you to stay calm through the holidays, remain happy, and realize just how abundant your life is. You may find it difficult to remember some or all of the things that I've said to you during this short hypnosis session. If you do, that's fine, because those things are for your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is now programmed to allow you to act in a way that is very effective for you and your goals. So you can choose to forget to remember what I've said during this hypnosis session, or remember to forget. The choice is yours. But either way, you are very calm and relaxed. And in just a few moments, you are going to come back to full awakening consciousness. And when you do, you'll be wide awake, full of natural energy, and ready for a wonderful, exciting, relaxing holiday season. All right, now coming up very slowly to the count of 3, so that by the time I reach that last number, you will be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis. 1, coming up feeling very good, full of natural energy. 2, beginning to move, beginning to stir, becoming very aware of your surroundings, very aware of where you are. At the count of the next number, you will be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis. All right now, 3, eyes open, wide awake, feeling good, completely out of hypnosis.
Awesome.
All right.
Wow, this is wonderful. So let me ask you this, Steve. What are the the habits, conditions that you most prefer to help people with?
Well, anytime somebody wants to change the way they think about themselves or their possibilities, that's what I prefer. So whether it's weight loss or making more money or just being more successful or moving toward a new career, I enjoy all of those things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, which brings me actually to the next thing, which was that for many people over the holidays, they tend to be overwhelmed with financial stress. Do you have any thoughts as to what people should be, thinking or doing to help to shift their mindset?
Well, first of all, I want to say that even though I'm well off now and I'm successful and so forth and so on, I haven't always been in that situation. I can relate to having trouble paying the bills. I was a poor college student at one time in the 80s, and I relate to financial stress and having to have a very strict budget and worrying about if this bill is going to be paid or what have you. So I still carry with me the memory of dealing with that. So I'm not out of touch with that. But what I learned during that period of my life was that stressing out about it didn't change anything. In fact, it made it worse. If you have a financial challenge, then realize that it can grow into something that's really ugly. It can grow into something that undoes a relationship. Lots of relationships are undone because of financial stress. So here you have a situation that's related to money, and it seeps into every other aspect of your life. It can affect your career because it can take your mind off of what you're doing. It can affect your relationship because you get upset for someone leaving the toilet seat up or down or the toothpaste cap on or off, and you start a fight, and it's really about finances, and it can snowball. So realize, first of all, that this frustration is never productive. Once you realize that, you can start to separate yourself from it, and it's sort of like dealing with a child and telling them that it's not them that's ineffective or negative, it's their behavior. So for you, it's not you that's a bad person for not having enough money to pay their bills or what have you. It's a situation. It's a condition, and it's temporary. It's not going to last the rest of your life. So if you find yourself having financial stress, separate yourself from it. That's a little mind trick that really goes a long way. It's not you. It's the situation. Once you separate yourself from it, once you get some distance from it, then you can look at it from a new perspective. And you can say, okay, it's over there. What am I going to do about it to get it out of my life and keep it out? And then you start coming up with your plan. Because the only way, really, to get out of financial stress is to have a plan that's eventually going to pull you out of it. But in order to see that plan, you must get some distance.
Okay. So I know this is, something that you help a lot of people with in terms of attracting abundance. Can you tell us a quick, a success story of somebody who you helped with this?
Oh, yes, there are a number of them. Let me think of one that really sticks with me. Well, there's always a story. I don't know if stop me if you've heard this one, as they say. But there's a story of Jen that sticks in my mind. I think you and I may have talked about Jen before, but she was a lady who came to me who was overweight. And first of all, I want to point out there's nothing wrong with being overweight if that's the way you want to be. After all, everyone has a right to smoke. They have a right to be overweight and so forth. So I never walk up to someone and say, hey, that's wrong. You should fix that. But for Jen, it was wrong for her. It didn't fit. It literally didn't fit into her model of the way her life should work. And because of that, it was devastating her confidence. People who are overweight end up with people who are, in their minds, very attractive all the time because of their confidence. So being overweight does not preclude anyone from getting what they want. It's the lack of confidence that comes from it if you let it get to you. And that's what that's the situation she was in. So I worked with her. And
the other issue is that, it's not healthy either.
Right, it's not healthy. But again, I never push that issue. If someone wants to be overweight, I let them live with that, and that's their decision. It's their body. Right. But absolutely, there are tremendous health risks. People who are overweight probably won't live as long as the same type of person who's not overweight because of all the things they're going to cause, and they're not going to live as healthy of a life while they are alive. So it's of tremendous value to lose weight, and Jen realized that. She also realized it was knocking her confidence down. So I worked with her. She lost a lot of weight. It was something like 180 pounds. I worked with her for quite a while. It was a huge weight loss. She lost a person. She lost a decent-sized person is what she lost. And so she got down to where she wanted to be. She married the man of her dreams, who, in her mind, it was a tall architect. That's kind of who she had as her ideal person. We all have the ideal in our mind, and that was it for her. And she found him. She manifested him, if you will, and attracted him to her and had the confidence to hold on to him and make it work, and they got married and lived, as they say, happily ever after. I got an email from her about a year after the session telling me all this.
Oh, that's so wonderful. How long did you work with her for to help her to lose all the weight?
Oh, goodness. That was at least a year that we worked together. Not every day, and sometimes not even every week, because after I see someone for the first few weeks with weight loss of that magnitude, I'll just need to see them for follow-ups, sometimes once a month, and I believe that's the program we went to. But with something like that, it just takes time. You've got to lose it at the rate that's medically advisable. You wouldn't want to do that in 2 weeks, for example. That would be insane and wrong. So you have to do it at a rate that a medical doctor prescribes, which can be a little bit of time.
So for somebody getting back to the whole abundance concept, do you have some kind of could we do maybe another quick hypnosis thing? Would that be okay?
Sure, absolutely.
Because, as I mentioned with the holiday season, there were like several things that are huge on people's minds, and one of them is food, and the other is money.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and get back into it. So for those, are you ready, Connie?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let me just tell people, let me just take a quick break here, which is that after the program, you will be getting a replay, so you can listen to this again, as I had promised, and you will also be getting a link to one of Steve's many websites with specific link to certain downloads that could help you through the holiday season. So,
absolutely, that's what we're all about: getting people the help that they want and need. Okay, so are you ready to get back into our hypnosis?
Sure.
Join our next one? Okay, so same preparation. I'm going to go with the idea that people who were prepared for the first one are still prepared for the second one. So let's go ahead and jump right back in. And since we already did one, it's going to be easier for me to get people back into hypnosis. So we'll shorten the induction and the deepening, and then we'll get to the script, because you're already. It's kind of like you just came out of any situation, like when you just get out of a swimming pool and you still have your swimming suit on, you're still kind of wet. You can jump back in. You don't have to get reacclimated to it necessarily. So we're going to jump back in the pool of our subconscious minds right now. So if everybody would just close their eyes, make sure you're in that comfortable, safe place. Let everyone know, again, not to bother you for a few minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And with your eyes closed, what I'd like you to do is put yourself back on that island. Put yourself back on that island you were on a few moments ago. You're back on that relaxing island. You remember the way you created it. Perhaps a few birds in the sky, and if they're there, you can hear them. The waves rolling in and out. Soft sand on the soles of your feet as you walk, again, down to the water's edge. Unmistakable salty sea air. You feel so relaxed there. It's the perfect place to be right now in your mind. Remember, the temperature is just right between the sun and the breeze. Perfect balance, perfect temperature. And as you walk down to that place again where you were a few moments ago in your mind, I want you to sit down right where you were. near the water's edge, in a safe, dry, comfortable place. That's right. And you realize that this time you're going to go even more deeply into hypnosis, because your mind is already programmed to relax. It's easy for you to go into hypnosis even deeper now. And as you take a deep breath in, breathe in that unmistakable salty sea air, and as you exhale, let go of guilt, let go of fear, let go of anything that's been holding you back lately. As you breathe in deeply again, breathe in power, breathe in abundance, breathe in relaxation. As you exhale, let go of your doubt, let go of uncertainty, let go of all that negativity, let it go. And as you continue breathing in and out, sitting by the water's edge, continue to do this. Breathe in the positive, breathe out the negative. Breathe in empowerment. Breathe out what's been holding you back. Relax more deeply now. The sun is now setting again on the horizon. Just like before. 2 sunsets in one wonderful day. And as I count 5, the sun begins to slowly set on the horizon. 4, the sun sets a little more deeply now as you relax, because the lower I count, the lower the sun goes. And the lower the sun goes, the more you relax, deeper and deeper, and even more deeply now. 3, down, down, relaxing more and more. 2, so very relaxed now, and at the count of the next number, you will be completely relaxed. All right now. 1, the sun has set, you are completely at ease. I'd like you now to imagine holding a cup in your hand as you sit by the edge of the water. I'd like you to take that cup and stand up and walk down to the very edge of the water. Let the water roll in, covering your feet a little bit, and roll back out. And with your cup, I'd like you to scoop up some water. Just scoop it up in that cup. And I want you to notice the effect that had on the ocean or sea or the body of water around your island. Notice that when you scoop up that water, there's 0 noticeable effect. There's still plenty of water out there. It seems like a vast, endless supply of water. And I want you to toss that water on the beach, keeping your cup in your hand. Just empty the water on the beach and scoop up some more water and empty that on the beach. And then do it again. And do it 10 more times in your mind. And as I talk, do it 10 more times after that, just continuing to scoop up water and put it on the beach. And notice, as you do, the water is still infinite as far as you can tell. No matter how much you take from this vast supply of water, it seems to make no difference. There's still more water. And you could do this all day if you wanted to. And there would be no noticeable effect, 0 noticeable effect on the water. And from now on, I want you to think of the universe in this way. No matter how much you have, no matter how much is given to you, no matter how much you take from the abundance of the world, there's still plenty for everyone else. And there's even more for you. There is no noticeable decrease. There's 0 noticeable decrease in the amount that's still available. No matter how much you take, no matter how much is given to you, no matter how much comes your way, there's still more. There's an infinite supply of money, of opportunity, of love, of everything, an infinite supply of everything that you could possibly want. So I want you right now to decide that you are going to accept abundance into your life. You're going to scoop up the water of life and bring it into your life, and then you're going to scoop up more. You're going to realize that rather than depleting opportunity for others, there's still plenty of opportunity for everyone. No matter how much you take, no matter how much you're given, there's always more. So you are comfortable with receiving infinite abundance. Infinite abundance means there's a constant supply of money coming your way. There's a constant supply of love coming your way. There's a constant supply of opportunity coming your way. A constant supply of fun and adventure coming your way. Everything is available to you all the time. And the quantity that's available is infinite. As you tap into this, you realize that you're letting money flow into your life. You're letting love flow into your life. You're scooping it up. You're making it yours. You also realize that you must give back to complete the cycle. So you scoop up from the ocean of life. Most of it you keep for yourself, and some of it you give back or give to others. By doing this, you complete the cycle of abundance, giving and receiving. But while the cycle's happening, you're constantly building more and more wealth, more and more love, more and more fun and adventure, more and more opportunity, more and more of everything. You're also giving part of that back, because that's the way the universe works. You give and take, and then you get more, and then you give more. You are comfortable with having abundance in your life, and you see now the opportunities. You see the house that you want and how possible it is to get it now, the car that you want, perhaps the person that you want to be with, perhaps the job or career that you want. You see all of this now, and you see how it will be yours. It will come into your life, and it's just going to get better and better. As you get better at receiving, the universe gives you more. As you get better at giving, the universe gives you more. So you now accept abundance into your life. You give and receive. And you may find it difficult to remember some or all of the things that I've said to you during this hypnosis session. If you do, that's fine, because those things are for your subconscious mind. And that's where they do their work, deep down inside your subconscious mind. You are now programmed to accept abundance into your life, to be a giver and a receiver. And so you may choose to forget to remember the things that I've said to you during this hypnosis session, or remember to forget them. The choice is yours. But either way, you continue relaxing now. And in just a few moments, you're going to return to full awakening consciousness. And when you do, you will be wide awake, full of natural energy, ready for a wonderful, abundant life. All right, now coming up very slowly to the count of 3, so that by the time I reach that last number, you will be wide awake, full of natural energy. All right, now. 1, coming up, feeling very good, full of natural energy. 2, coming up even more now, beginning to move, beginning to stir, becoming very aware of where you are, very aware of your surroundings. At the count of the last number, you will be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis. All right, now 3. Eyes open, wide awake, and completely out of hypnosis.
Wow, Steve, you are so amazing. So let me ask you this. Let's assume, so you have hundreds. How many downloads do you have available?
About 4,000 now.
Okay. excuse me, not hundreds, thousands.
In a busy life.
So you have 4,000 downloads, and we're going to include links, of course, to people can find out about some of the favorites. But let me just ask you, how often should people listen to create some kind of an effective change? So, for instance, the two situations that we talked about, those are two of the situations that, tend to affect people over the holidays, and there's other issues that people have as well. So what kind of schedule should they get on?
Well, for hypnosis recordings, I recommend listening once a night for 21 nights.
Okay. And you also have the daily programs as well.
Yes, I have numerous daily programs, omniliminal, paralinear. Those are trademarked through the United States government. Technology that my sound engineers and I developed. We also have regular daytime, binary daytime, subliminal recordings for daytime. We have all sorts of daytime recordings. Same thing, except you don't have to listen to it at night. Listen to it during the day, and for 21 days in a row. And for these, you can listen to them throughout the day. They're usually about 30 minutes long or so, and you can listen to them several times a day if you want to, but it's only necessary to listen once a day for 21 days. And
those ones are called the which?
We have a lot of them. We have thousands of them. We have they're divided up into several categories.
No, but you said binary.
We have daytime, binary daytime, subliminal, omniliminal, paralinear.
Yeah, I've seen all these. Which one would you which ones?
I would keep it simple to start out. I would just get regular daytime recordings. And
okay.
They're right there on the front of my website. You can see daytime recordings. Those are free of anything. There's no music. There's no nothing. It's just me talking, me programming you. It's just me giving you positive affirmations. So nothing fancy on them. Just me getting right down to business and telling you that you're going to change in a positive way. There's no hypnosis involved in those. They're just affirmations telling you positive things.
So what do you generally find happens with people after they listen for 21 days?
They have new ways of talking to themselves. It's kind of like a song. You hear a song on the radio, and whether you like it or not, if you hear it enough, it's going to be in your head. You're going to start saying it over and over in your head, even if sometimes especially if you don't like it, it's in there. Well, your subconscious mind tends to fight programming that it doesn't want. If you don't want to lose weight, your subconscious mind tends to fight it. But even if it does, it gets in there after 21 days or nights if you're using hypnosis. So I find that people, when they're faced with, should I eat that cake or not, suddenly they hear my words in their head saying, choose something more effective than that. So what happens is change. People have new distinctions and new behaviors because of that.
Okay. And what about then, what about for the, to get into an abundance mindset? You said we would, like, all of a sudden remember something that you had said.
Absolutely. When you see what happens with abundance is people don't believe in themselves. I recently was asked to do a show in Los Angeles, to be on a TV show, and my first reaction was, why would they want me? Then I flew out there to the show and realized that, of course they do want me. If I had in my mind that lack of abundance mentality, I would have stayed with my first gut reaction, which is why would they want me? And any time opportunity shows up in our lives, that's our first reaction. Our first reaction, if we're not programmed for abundance, is to say, why would the universe be giving me this? I don't deserve it. That's our first reaction. So the programming from the hypnosis or the daytime recordings allows us to, in that moment, say, yes, I deserve this, and to start living into it as if it already happened, as if you deserve it. When you do that, you get the good things in life. They do come to you because the universe sees that, yes, you're accepting it. Not only do you get that, but you get the next thing, and the next thing.
Well, that's very, very exciting. What do you think is the biggest misunderstanding that people have about hypnosis?
That it's mind control, that someone's getting in there and making you do things against your will. And part of this is due to stage hypnosis, where they have people come up on stage and do silly things. But this is not that. This is me putting suggestions in your mind that you want there. On my recordings, you see the topic. You know exactly what's going to be programmed into your mind.
Well, we have time here. I mean, literally, it's right before the holiday season, so people could, get some of your recordings, and boom, by the time the holidays are here, they can have progress in those areas.
Oh, absolutely. We sell millions of my recordings right before the holidays because people do want to prepare for them. And the good news is that change lasts throughout the year. They think, well, I'm just going to be good for the holidays, and they haven't planned for the next year necessarily, at least consciously, but then what happens is they set themselves up for success, carries them all the way through that year and for the rest of their lives.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we're going to send people the links from this replay page. Which program for the abundance mindset would be the best to give them the link for then?
The abundance program would be best for that. The abundance recording.
I figured as much. And, of course, I know about your sugar addiction one as well. And then what about for the holiday, for the parties, something similar to what we had done or whatever? What would be the best one?
That's a good question. I don't know if we have anything specific like that. I believe that if you search the website, you'll probably find something that's at least close.
Okay, cool. And then I know you talk a lot about self-sabotage and overcoming that, and you even did in one of our wonderful programs that you did. Do you have any other tips for people on how to avoid self-sabotage?
Yes, and by the way, I just got on the website myself, and the program we have for that is called Avoid Holiday Stress.
Yes,
so
that's it. I remember seeing that. Okay. So we're going to send the direct links to people for that.
Okay, and then your question was how to avoid sabotage.
Yeah, because I know. In fact, I just recently got an email from you. I guess it was yesterday or something about self-sabotage, which is a big one for people.
Right.
What should they do other than listen to your wonderful downloads?
Well, in addition to that, you should start positive self-talk, and you should also, even before any of that, even before hypnosis or positive self-talk, get to the root of it. Why are you sabotaging yourself? Because, for example, when people overeat, sometimes they want to be larger, so they'll be unattractive for the most part to potential love interests, and they won't get hurt again in whatever way they were hurt before. So if that's the reason, then diets aren't really going to help because the subconscious mind has a payoff for being overweight, has a reason, an invested reason in being overweight. So the first key is to find the reason, do a little soul searching. What do you think the reason might be? And kind of go with that and do a little meditation and really get to the heart of why you're doing it. And then, of course, release that, and then you can start with hypnosis and just positively affirming to yourself throughout the day that you're going to release that weight or let go of that addiction or what have you. Okay.
And you talked about getting to the heart of it. Do you have any other pointers on how to get to the heart of your reason?
Well, you can always work with a hypnotherapist, which is, or any kind of therapist, which is, of course, the easiest way.
Right.
But really what it comes down to is them getting into your head. They're going to have to pull out information from you, so you can do that yourself. Usually people will suspect why they may be doing something. I recommend going with that. Follow your suspicions and just meditate on it. Meditate on why you feel that is. And you may never get to the exact answer. It may be locked in your subconscious mind. You may not ever get to it without a professional helping to unlock it, and that's okay. If you feel that you've got the area pretty well defined, you think it's because of abuse or having relationships go bad or something like that, then that's at least a starting point, and that oftentimes is good enough. So go with your suspicions, soul search, use some professional help if you feel you need to use that, and then go from there.
Awesome. So, Steve, you're like you are like so amazing and so inspiring, and you know, it was so generous of you to guide us through